Nobody likes to fail. Who likes to fail?
Yes, nobody likes rejection.
If failure and rejection were so coveted, then all of social media would be buzzing with stories of failure and rejection. The fact is, everybody loves to see that end goal of extreme triumph.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to VNV's podcast number 8. How are you doing today, Dr. Sabharwal?
Excellent, Brent. How about yourself?
Good. I love these podcasts. They keep pouring in. People's support and love on these podcasts have been exceptional. I kid you not. I didn't think that so many people were gonna so positively respond to this conversations that you and I are having. We love it. They like these life talks, political talks. They're just, they're mesmerizing for us. I'm like, oh, how so? And then they'll bring up particular topics. And I'm like, wow, they really watch the podcast. Have you heard any of this?
Absolutely, I have. And I believe we alluded to this in our last podcast.
Yes, we did allude to it. Yeah, we definitely did. I love the verbiage here. So Dr. Sabharwal, today's topic is very interesting. As I mentioned, you're very well dressed. You're very well upkept. The exclusive designer watches. You really worked hard for this. When people look at this, I really, really want people to know that you've put in the dues. How long you been a dentist?
Over 24 years.
Wow, 20. So somebody that you've inspired with the watches, the jackets, the cars, you've put in the dues. 24 years of work, nonetheless the education. So today, what do you think our topic's going to be? I've kind of given you a good hint here.
How to create wealth?
Well, part of it, yes. How to inspire the youth, the younger generation. How to inspire entrepreneurs. How to inspire someone who's looking to build a career. And because a lot of people don't know where to go, where to start. Because everybody gives a little pretty spiel, but nobody's really willing to hold somebody's hands. And anybody watching this podcast, I want you to know that Dr. Sabharwal is ready to hold your hand. Let's talk about this topic today.
When I was a young individual,
Yes.
Studying mathematics,
Yes.
at York University,
Yes.
at that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. My mom used to work at the bank,
Yes.
Bank of Montreal.
Yes.
One day she came home. She said to her confused son, "Why do you think go out and become a dentist?"
Wow.
And my question to her was, "Why? I want to be a mathematician."
Yes.
Her response was because being at the bank, she saw that some of her clients who were dentists at the time did fairly well.
We're making millions.
They were doing well. She saw the money coming in.
Yes.
She didn't see any of the money as a business person that was going out.
Fair enough.
However, I did take my mother up on the challenge, and I did go to one dental office.
Yes.
And I saw that, I was observing that it would be a very glorious and good career.
Okay.
I got very lucky. I applied to University of Toronto, one dental school, one application, got in.
Wow.
And
Talk about faith.
talk about luck, talk about destiny. My game plan was never to be a dentist.
Okay.
I had no exposure. There was no internet at the time. Our family didn't have doctors, lawyers at the time who we could consult. It was a blind faith jump. But one thing which is true is with that jump came a commitment that if I have embarked on this, I'm going to do the level best that I can with honesty and integrity so I could really give a kick at the can at this.
Right.
And it started. It started in 1997. I got into the University of Toronto, Faculty of Dentistry, graduated in 2001. I think I was 23, 24 years old at the time, and worked hard ever since, haven't stopped. And in as far as your observation of my desire for suits, watches. These desires came while I was in dental school,
Right.
working at my father's small little shop
Okay.
at Dundas South subway station,
Okay.
in between classes, reading my dental books, but also watching or looking at Gentleman's Quarterly and saying, hey, one day I want to buy a suit like that. One day I want to buy shoes like that.
Wow.
So that's how it started.
I have somebody like that now, like that we got a big team, and I've got somebody who like now they copy all my suits, all my shirts, all my suits, and
Oh, your suits are worth copying.
no, they're not good. They're not that good, but I'm saying like replicas. Like I show up with white shirt, blue suit. Like they show up with. It's amazing. It's good to inspire people.
So you're a fashion icon.
No, definitely not. Like I'm not that well dressed. You look like
No one copies me though.
You look like $1 million, but it's hard to copy. It's so expensive, right? So yes, I have a question from that kid. He wrote it out. He's like, "Hey, this is Arman. How do I make it in life?" So what do you have to say to Arman?
Consistency. Consistency. If you know where you want to go, you
Yes.
got to be consistent.
Okay.
You will not hit a home run each time you're up to bat.
He loses focus time.
You can't lose focus when you can't make it to first base.
Okay.
In life, life comes with a lot of challenges.
Yes.
And one of the challenges in life is that regardless of your laser focus, things don't go the way you want.
Right.
That is the outcome which hasn't gone the way you want. But the input is what's in your control.
Okay.
Are you giving your 100% effort? And if you're giving your 100% effort, then you've got to trust the process. You've got to trust that your consistency will eventually shine through.
Like I know we're spilling out words, but how do you get someone who is just self-doubting? The focus is there, but they're self-doubting. They make decisions that they think, is this right, wrong? They keep going right to the vicious cycle. How do you get them out of that? Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's I said, well said, but I just was trying to get my thought together. Like how they need to be uplifted.
The most difficult times in life, you feel as though nothing is going your way.
Yes.
Again, these are words, much easier said than done. To lift yourself out of that rut, to lift yourself when you're down, it's very hard. It's very difficult. But those moments, those very moments when you hit rock bottom, it's only when you begin to start climbing out of those. And it's, again, not easy. You will fall. You will fall again. You'll rise a bit. You'll fall again. You'll rise a bit more. Perhaps you'll be dragged down a bit. But that, in the grand scheme of things, is what's going to contribute the most to your success.
So, do good friends make the difference? Do good mentors make the difference?
Absolutely. Your company makes the most difference. And that company could be your friends. It could be your family. It could be your mentors. It could be your colleagues. It could even be your own self. Sometimes you're not going to get the answers you want from those people who you're surrounded with. Sometimes those answers have to come from within, whether that is yourself, whether you call that energy your soul, whether you call that energy a voice from God. But sometimes it takes that spark from within as well. And at times, that spark comes from outside, from your friends, from your family, from someone who's dear. Sometimes it'll even come from an individual you don't even know.
Is it a true saying you are who your circle is?
You're shaped to a significant portion by the company you keep. That's what we do.
Okay.
So
is it true that your circle is who you are? Who's in your circle is what dictates or what determines how your life's going to turn out to be? Is that
it can,
okay?
And it doesn't have to.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. There's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. Obviously, individuals who are like-minded, who have the same goals, who have the same vision, who are studying together. They may have a focus on one thing, and hence they're together
Yes.
at that part of their life.
Yes.
And you may notice that you've had individuals in high school or university who you were fairly close with at that time.
Yeah.
But as time has gone, because you don't have many things in common anymore, you've grown apart.
Okay.
Not that you weren't good friends back then,
Yes.
but you just don't have things in common. So yes, birds of a feather do flock together. Your company does make a significant impact on you, but it doesn't mean that you will become a exact portrait of those individuals who you surround yourself with. Perhaps you may surround yourself with individuals and learn, I do not want to do what these individuals do.
Yes.
Yes, they may be my friends, they may be in my circle, but I don't like that habit of theirs. So I'm definitely not going to do that.
Right.
So your company that you keep can either make you become like the company you keep or make you be completely opposite of the company that you keep. All depends on your own mind and on your own volition.
Generally, when I'm around, like as I mentioned in many podcasts, I coach a lot of youngsters, a lot of youth. Everyone talks about these high-end watches, high-end cars, high-end jewelry, money, villas, yachts, private jets, business class. How do you shift that mindset? Be like, listen, you got to put in the dues, you got to put in the work, and those things follow. My goal is why I'm doing this question. Like, I want them to understand the rags to riches. Like, there is a process. What is that process?
The process, like I said, it's not to give up, and you will also understand things come with time.
But where do they start? Like, I'm asking you, like, where do they,
That
like your mom inspired you, which is amazing,
my
right?
parents inspired me. My mother, my father, they both inspired me.
I mean, like that initial kick, like, was that, mom came from the bank and she said, dentists make a lot of money. And
It wasn't inspiration. At that time, it was a command
but she saw something, and look where you are today.
because it was a different time.
Right.
I had even then and till date nothing other than complete faith in my family.
Right? Like, people are here thinking about economy and business class, and here you're flying private jets. Like, it took time to build.
Many private jets.
Like, it took time to build this. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you get, like, what I'm saying is that determination.
It's called home equity line of credit.
How do you uplift and motivate people that necessarily want to do things? They want to do big things in life, right?
Big things will only happen. They only come to light when you start doing the small things right.
Wow.
You can't
Please elaborate.
You can't do. Okay, the issue with our current society
Yes.
is that all we see the success.
Yes.
You don't see the grind. You don't see the grind. You don't see that individual who on the surface looks successful, but what that individual had to do just so they could put a smile on their face for that 3-second clip.
So do you think social media plays a bad influence when talking about true growth and success?
Social media highlights the end goal. It never talks about the process. It never talks about the failure. It never talks about the dues. It never talks about all the times that you feel frustrated. It doesn't talk about that. Fair enough, yeah, right? And then what happens? If you're seeing just the end product, what goes in your mind?
The end product.
And then what do you do? What do you forget about? The process.
The grind, the journey, right?
Right? If you start highlighting the grind, if you start rewarding the grind, the gold at the end of the rainbow is going to be there anyways. You gotta learn how to use that journey and learn from it and become exceptionally better. And when you do that, one small step at a time, you will get to your goal.
And to add to this, there's a quotation.
Mm-hmm.
I generally never use quotations, but there's a quotation saying, it's not the choices you make, it's the decisions you take that determine your destiny. How important is it that we talk about choices? But if we can take the right decisions, I want to quote Rumi on this, and Rumi said, and this is for Arman because Arman had asked you the initial question. He said that as you start to walk, the path starts to appear. So if you want something to happen, you got to take action.
Absolutely.
And that's the only way your results will start to appear. You can't want something and not work for it. And so listening to you and really, sending this message to the youth that if you want something, go and get it. This is sky's the limit. There is no limit.
I am in complete agreement with you.
Right?
Furthermore, to quote another brilliant mind,
Yes.
Confucius.
Yes.
What did Confucius say? He said, a 1,000,000-mile journey
Yes.
begins with the first step.
Wow.
You've got to start. However, I believe the gist of today was, what is that inspiration to start? Should it be the end goal? Should it be the journey? And I want to be extremely clear. Sometimes you go out believing that your end goal is going to be here, but your journey makes sure that you end up here. But if you are ready to embark on the journey, the goal, which is to be, will be yours. Perhaps you don't have the vision in the beginning to understand where you're going to end up, but your hard work and your destiny will take you there.
And you're absolutely right, because I think the problem is, one last thought on this. People don't see the failures. They just look at the success.
But it's the failures which create the most beautiful of all stories.
Right.
Nobody likes to fail. Who likes to fail?
Yes, nobody likes rejection.
If failure and rejection were so coveted, then all of social media would be buzzing with stories of failure and rejection. The fact is, everybody loves to see that end goal of extreme triumph. If you're in sports, you want to win that coveted trophy. But nobody talks about those athletes who every single moment of their life are training for that one particular moment.
Yes.
And it goes down to, if you are inspired by that one pinnacle of life,
Yes.
then you have to ask yourself, are you ready to put in the effort before you are at that final match for that final game? All that effort that took to get yourself there? And if the answer is yes, you will be there.
Kobe Bryant,
Absolutely. And
Ronaldo, LeBron James, Tiger Woods, you name it. How many times have they took those shots again? Wayne Gretzky, again and again and again till they're perfected. Michael Jackson, I remember, have you watched Super Bowl with Michael Jackson? He came out, told his producers, I'm going to go out until I don't touch my glasses, you guys don't roll the music. 2 minutes, he just stood there. Boom, just popped up and just stood there. That presence, that ambiance takes time to create, of course, and it's going to come from within, look at you. You worked so hard in your life. I think today's podcast is going to be very vital and detrimental in how we take our podcast forward. Based on how this is received, how the youth engage with it, I would like to do more podcasts on trying at least to create a right path, uplifting people, motivating people. Because I think all we can do in this life is work together, help create journeys for ourselves and the individuals around us, uplifting one another. In this world of so much negativity, we could be that positive light. And I want to be that. I would love to be that.
Absolutely. A positive light, but a positive light with a reflection on the facts.
Yes, 101%.
You've got to keep it real.
Yes.
If you want to inspire, you can't just inspire by saying you're going to get to the end result.
No.
You have to be honest,
Yes.
keep it real, and let them know it's a process.
That's really true.
You've got to put in the effort. Before we end this podcast,
Yes.
I am going to quote the most valuable source that I have
Yes.
for myself. which comes from the Hindu scriptures, the Mahabharata.
Okay.
In the Mahabharata, there is a very valiant warrior. And for those who are of the Hindu diaspora or are aware of Hinduism, may know of this individual. And he was the almighty Karn. Okay? And Karn has said that if the price to grow and become better is pain, then God give me nothing other than pain.
Wow, that's deep.
So if we listen to those who have been here before
Yes.
and those who have reached the pinnacles and centuries later, we still talk about them,
Yes.
then you already have all the answers.
Yes. See, you have enlightened me with something. And you know, I'm very I'm a very strong individual when it comes to faith. I truly believe we ask God for things and God supports us. But when you want something, we ask God for a wealthier life. God will help create ways or put us in situations where we can attain wealth.
Or that's attain whatever else you wish to obtain.
And whatever you wish to attain, God will create the path to what you've asked for, but you got to work on that path and get to that task.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that being said, Dr. Saboo, I want to thank you for coming on our podcast. It's our podcast. We've done really well with it. We've inspired a lot of people. As we mentioned, we're going to start bringing on some guests. I've got a lot of guests that I want to come on, and I feel like slowly pacing them in because we've got this conversation going on. I want to make sure it's the right fit.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's important.
And if any of the viewers have any comments or they wish for us to discuss anything which is of interest to them,
Yes.
then please let us know. And we will definitely work to make sure that we address the topics or concerns or issues that you want us to talk about.
Perfect.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
Dr. Saboo.